China recently declared that its J-20 fighter jet had attained initial operational capability. China's latest J-20 stealth fighter has been commissioned into the Air Force's combat service, China's defense ministry said on February 9. Chinese analysts touted the country's achievement as breaking the Western stranglehold on stealthy aircraft. The J-20 will also change the history of the Air Force in Asia-Pacific region. In the past, only the US and its allies like Japan were capable of arming stealth fighter jets. But now, their monopoly in this region has been broken by China's J-20, Song Zhuangping, a military expert, was quoted as saying in official media. China has indeed long depicted the J-20 as a competitor to America's fifth-generation jets, the F-22 and F-35. But a new report casts doubt on those claims. Specifically, the Hong Kong-based South China Morning Post, SCMP, reported that China rushed its first advanced stealth fighter jet into service ahead of schedule last year, using stopgap engines, in the face of rising security challenges in the region. According to SCMP, that means its capabilities will be severely limited, affecting its maneuverability and fuel efficiency as well as its stealthiness at supersonic speeds. The story notes that the J-20s were initially slated to be powered by a specially designed W-15 engine. However, during testing in 2015, the W-15 engine exploded. Although no one was injured in the explosion, Chinese engineers have not been able to fix the engine. One source told the Hong Kong paper that the reasons it happened were complicated, with one being the quality control of its single crystal turbine blades, the key component for such a powerful turbofan engine. More concretely, the W-15's single crystal turbine blades have been unable to handle the high temperatures and maneuverability of the J-20. An engine that can handle these functions is essential for fifth-generation aircraft. Engines like the F-22's Pratt & Whitney F-119 allow fighters to reach supersonic speeds without using afterburners, which allows them to maintain their stealth. Without an engine like this, Beijing's J-20 would lack stealthiness while traveling at supersonic speeds. The issue does not look like it will be resolved in the near future. A second Chinese military source claimed to SCMP, Chinese technicians are able to produce cutting-edge quality single crystal turbine blades when concentrating on a specific single item. But they've still failed to turn the advanced technology into a standard product for mass production. It's a bottleneck problem that needs more time to overcome after countless experiments and tests, based on Western experiences. For the time being, then, China's new combat-ready J-20s are using WS-10B engines. According to SCMP, the WS-10B is a modified version of the WS-10 Taihang engine, which were built to power China's J-10 and J-11 fighters. Those fighters are labeled as fourth-generation jets. The WS-10B's thrust-to-weight ratio is not able to power the J-20 to supersonic speeds without the use of afterburners. This is not the first time that the J-20 has required new engines. Initially, China had used two Russian Al-31 engines to power the J-20 fighter jets. These engines are even less capable than the WS-10B ones that China produces domestically. Beijing has pushed Moscow to sell it more advanced engines, but Russia has refused because of concerns that China will reverse engineer them, as it has done with other military systems. Russia's refusal prompted China to begin investing heavily in domestically manufactured engines. In fact, military insiders told the South China Morning Post that Beijing spent around $23.7 billion between 2010 and 2015 trying to develop more modern aerospace engines. Chinese state media has previously bragged that these efforts paid off. China Central Television claimed last year that the W-15 engines were performing comparably to the Pratt & Whitney F-119. Evidently, that is not the case. A January 2016 Reuters article noted that China was struggling to manufacture engines for its fifth-generation jets. Chinese engine makers face a multitude of problems. Michael Raska, an assistant professor at Singapore's S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, was quoted as saying in the article. Among the issues, Reuters noted, China's J-20 and J-31 stealth fighters cannot supercruise, or fly at supersonic speeds like their closest rivals, Lockheed Martin's F22 and F35 stealth planes, without using afterburners. Still, China is almost certain to eventually overcome its issues in building sophisticated aerospace engines. The Reuters article said that some sources claimed Beijing was hiring foreign engineers and Air Force officers to help in the production, although Reuters said it could not independently confirm those claims. And a Shanghai aerospace consulting firm, Galion Group, estimates that China will invest around $300 billion over the next 2 decades to develop civil and military aircraft engines. For the time being, however, Chinese jets are not on the same level as American. In 2015, then Chief of the F-35 Joint Program Office Lieutenant General Christopher Bogdan, U.S. Air Force, commented, "I'd put this airplane up against any airplane in the world today, tomorrow and for the next 20 or 30 years, and we will come out ahead." The Air Force says the F-35 achieved 110 kills against adversary aircraft in Exercise Northern Lightning and achieved a 20-to-1 kill ratio in the early 2017 Red Flag exercise. Marine F-35Bs reportedly suppressed SAM sites without being targeted. Overall, the J-20 is likely to be a serious threat to U.S. aircraft, ships, and bases for the foreseeable future. While the F-35 has better stealth and sensor capability and the J-20 may not be a match of one-on-one, the Chinese may be able to put more of them in the sky. In 2017, General Herbert Carlisle, Commander Air Combat Command, stated that in the South China Sea the threat may be 10 squadrons of J-20s, plus Su-35s, and Su-30s and J-10s and J-11s, so, while not as good as the F-35, the J-20 does not have to be as stealthy or have sensor parity to have an impact on the Far East military balance.